Bonjour and welcome viewers and students to Let's Speak French, Parlons Français. These lessons on basic French are short and easy, and if you follow the program regularly, I can guarantee you that very soon you will be able to speak and understand French quite easily. The previous class focused on ER ending verbs that belong to the first group. In today's class, we are going to learn all about prepositions, more specifically prepositions of position. This lesson has been divided into 3 sections. In the first section, I will explain the basic concept of preposition and the various types of prepositions that exist in French. In the next section, we'll focus exclusively on prepositions of position or location. And in the third section, I'll provide a text to revise what we learned in today's class. In this lesson, I will introduce you to words related to the classroom. Prepositions are small words that are placed after a verb to indicate a link between the two nouns or nominal groups placed before and after the verb. These two nouns may either be a noun, a pronoun, or a proper noun. The doctor was speaking to John. In this sentence, the verb is was speaking and it is directly followed by the preposition to. This preposition links the noun the doctor to the proper noun John. If we replace the doctor with the pronoun he, then the preposition to links the pronoun he to the proper noun John. Apart from linking two different components of a sentence, prepositions can also answer questions like where, when, and with whom. For example, by adding to John, we bring more information to the sentence which would otherwise be a plain sentence without any detail. The doctor was speaking. Prepositions are tricky to learn because while they exist in both English and French, each language has its own set of prepositions. Many French prepositions have multiple meanings, and the same is true for English prepositions as well. Moreover, there are many instances where a preposition is needed in French where none is used in English and vice versa. Prepositions are challenging for beginners, but with time and practice, you will learn how to use them correctly. There are many prepositions in the French language, and since most prepositions have more than one meaning, they are often used in varied contexts. But fortunately, a large number of prepositions can be categorized into 3 groups: prepositions of position, time, and movement. Let me illustrate these 3 groups with examples. Prepositions of positions are those that indicate the location. In the sentence, the lamp is on the cupboard or the waste paper bin is under the table, the words on and under are prepositions that point where something is. Preposition of time are those that indicate at what time something takes place. In the sentence, I watch TV while eating, or we go for a walk after dinner. The highlighted words are the prepositions that tell us when something happens. And as the name suggests, prepositions of movement are those that indicate a movement. In the sentences, he goes to the library or she walked till the bus stop, the prepositions to and till imply a displacement. As always, there are some examples that cannot be classified. It is the same with prepositions. There are many prepositions in both English and French which can be used in different contexts. This means that these prepositions can be categorized in 2 or more groups. The preposition in, for instance, can be used to indicate location. The toys are in the box, and to indicate time as well. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Apart from these three groups, there are many other miscellaneous cases where a preposition is needed. These cases generally have only one or two prepositions, and so it would be incorrect to call them a different group. The preposition to, for instance, can be used to indicate possession. The book belongs to me. Similarly, the preposition for indicates purpose. These papers are for drawing. So this was a brief overview of prepositions in general. The definition, function, and various types of prepositions that exist are presented here. In the next section, we'll focus exclusively on French preposition of position. In French, there are many prepositions of position, but I'm going to teach you only those that are firstly most commonly used and secondly consist of one word. In the first section of this lesson, I told you that prepositions always follow immediately after the verb, and that a noun, which could be a noun, a proper noun, or a pronoun, comes immediately after the preposition. Now let us examine this situation in the French context with French prepositions. Let's begin with the preposition devant. Devant means in front of. Let's consider the sentence, Le professeur est devant Thibaut. This sentence translates as, the teacher is in front of Thibaut. In this sentence, it's a proper noun that follows the preposition. A proper noun is either the name of a person, a place, or an organization. A proper noun never has an article. So in the sentence, Le professeur est devant Thibaut, devant is directly followed by the word Thibaut, which is a common masculine name in French. Now let's consider this sentence. Le professeur est devant la classe. The teacher is in front of the classroom. In this sentence, we have a noun, classe, which follows the preposition. If you remember what you learned in the previous chapter, you'll know that in French, a noun can never be on its own. A modifier must always precede the noun. This modifier can either be an article, a qualifying adjective, a demonstrative adjective, or a possessive adjective. It could also be a combination of two modifiers. So when a preposition connects two nouns, both nouns should be accompanied by their modifier or modifiers. Since class is a feminine singular noun, the definite article la is placed after the preposition. If a noun is modified by a combination of modifiers such as a possessive adjective and a qualifying adjective, both modifiers would accompany the noun. Le professeur est devant sa nouvelle classe. The teacher is in front of his new classroom. As you can see from this example, the preposition devant links the two nouns, professor and classe, but the modifiers of both nouns figure in the sentence. Now let us proceed to the preposition derrière. Derrière translates as behind in English. Let's consider the sentence, the bags are behind the chairs. The French equivalence of this sentence is, les sacs sont derrière les chaises. Let me give you another example. The canteen is behind the school. The French equivalence of this sentence is, la cantine se trouve derrière l'école. I'll again read the two French sentences. Les sacs sont derrière les chaises. La cantine se trouve derrière l'école. The third preposition that I'll teach you is dans. Dans means in. Let's put this preposition in a sentence. Le stylo est dans la trousse. In English, this sentence translates as the pen is in the pencil case. Let me give you another example. During recess, the children play in the schoolyard. This sentence translates as les écoliers jouent dans la cour. I'll again read the two sentences. Le stylo est dans la trousse. Les écoliers jouent dans la cour. The fourth preposition is sur. Sur means on. The English sentence, the glue stick is on the paper, translates into French as le bâton de colle est sur le papier. Let me give you another example. The file is on the writing table. In French, this sentence translates as le dossier est sur le pupitre. I'll again read the two sentences. Le bâton de colle est sur le papier. Le dossier est sur le pupitre. The next preposition is sous. Sous means under. Let's consider the following sentence. The chalk is under the notebook. In French, this sentence translates as la craie est sous le cahier. Now let's look at another example. The sharpener is under the book. The French equivalence of this sentence is le taille-crayon est sous le livre. I'll again read the two French sentences. La craie est sous le cahier. Le taille-crayon est sous le livre. Next, let me show you how the preposition between is used in French. The French equivalent of between is entre. Let's make a sentence with this preposition. La gomme est entre le crayon et la règle. In English, this would translate as the eraser is between the pencil and the ruler. Let's consider another sentence. Le tableau est entre la map monde et le calendrier. The English equivalent of this sentence is the board is in between the world map and the calendar. I'll again read the two French sentences. La gomme est entre le crayon et la règle. Le tableau est entre le map-monde et le calendrier. Finally, the last preposition that you learn in today's class is chez. Chez is a typical French preposition that has a very specific meaning. It can be translated as at, but generally indicates at someone's place. This place could be someone's home or workplace. For instance, when you say in English, she goes to the hairdresser or he goes to the library, you use the preposition to in both cases. In French, you would use chez for the hairdresser because you are going to a person. But you'd use a when talking about going to the library because the library is a building and not a person. Let me show you the French translation of these two sentences. Elle va chez le coiffeur and il va à la bibliothèque. These 7 prepositions of position or location are some of the most commonly used prepositions in French. There are many other prepositions of position, but since those consist of 2 or 3 words, we will examine them in the next lesson. Now let us revise what we learnt in today's lesson on prepositions of position or location. Here's a short text which I am going to slowly read out so that you can understand how prepositions are used in French. Voici ma salle de classe. Il y a un grand tableau noir sur le mur. Devant ce tableau noir se trouve le bureau du professeur. Les pupitres sont arrangés en demi-cercle. Nous avons une armoire entre la porte et la fenêtre. Le professeur garde des livres d'histoire et des dictionnaires dans cette armoire. Nous accrochons notre cartable derrière notre chaise et plaçons nos livres sous nos cahiers. La cloche sonne 8 heures et nous commençons notre première leçon de la journée. With this, we come at the end of our second lesson. This lesson was divided into 3 parts. In the first part, we learned about the basic concept of prepositions and the various types of prepositions that exist in French. In the second part, we focused on prepositions of position. And finally, in the third part, we summarized today's lesson by studying a text. I hope you enjoyed today's session. With this, we come to the end of our second lesson. In the next class, we'll learn the contracted articles of the French language. I hope to see you in the next class. Thank you. À bientôt. See you soon.